One was just that the size and the scope of it. There's a lot of movie to do in a relatively short time, because it's always like whenever you make a movie, it's like you always aim for more than the box you've been given, because you want to make it as big as possible.
Hello and welcome to a very special edition of the Movie Podcast. My name is Daniel, and I am joined right alongside Shahbaz. Hello, Shahbaz.
Hello, hello. Yes, I'm right beside you. This is a first. We never are in the same room together.
We're never in the same room together. We're not
Never.
even friends
No.
outside of this show.
This is maybe too close
It
for
is. But
comfort.
listen, I already made a mistake. I
did.
should have said, and my fellow co-host, Shahbaz.
You should have, but then I would have damaged your roof, and I know for a fact you would have come and blamed me for it.
I would have. I mean, who else am I going to talk to?
Yeah, I'm not paying for this. I'm not paying for this roof.
Shay, today is a very special edition of the Movie Podcast. What's going on today?
Well, you know that we do interviews.
We do?
We do.
Okay.
We do interviews, and we have an amazing one lined up. And obviously, you haven't read the title of this episode because
Why would you?
You trust the Movie Podcast blindly, and that's what we hope for. So we have an amazing interview lined up with the one and only David F. Sandberg, who you'll know from directing the SHAZAM films and Lights Out.
Yeah, this has been a film that we're really excited to talk about, and we will have our review for you on March 15th. So stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned.
We will have our social reactions coming out on the 7th of March, but today, on March 1st, the day that you're listening and watching this,
Wow.
we do have the director, of course, David F. Sandberg, joining us. He's someone that we've been wanting to have on the show for a very, very long time. We're huge fans of his work. He also do Annabelle creation as well.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, he's just a wonderful, wonderful person. I implore you, if you have not looked at his YouTube channel, go. If you're fans of movies and how the movie process is done, he's the person that you want to follow, obviously, aside from us.
Yeah, well, once you're done from this YouTube video, go watch his.
Yeah, David is such a wonderful person. I'm so glad that we had the opportunity to talk with him. But before we get to all of that, I do want to say, of course, this is the Movie Podcast. You could catch a brand new episode of our show every single Monday and watch out throughout the week for our reviews and interviews on all the latest movies and series, just like this one. We have some incredible interviews and reviews out right now. So if you want to support us, go check those out. And of course, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Letterboxd at The Movie Podcast. Join our Discord. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Let us know what you're looking forward to this month. March is a crazy busy month of movies.
My God.
And we have so many incredible reviews and interviews coming your way. So don't miss a thing.
Stick it right here.
Stick it right here. Of course, I want to say thank you to our friends at Warner Brothers Pictures Canada for making this interview happen for us and for inviting us to watch the film. Like I said, we are so excited to talk about it. So without further ado, please welcome director David F. Sandberg to the Movie Podcast. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us on the Movie Podcast. We are such huge fans of yours. And we've absolutely loved what you've done with SHAZAM. So this is a huge honor for us. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
First and foremost, just how's your day going? How's this press going for you?
Going good. I mean, we're just getting started. It's like the first day, so still have some energy. I'm like, let's do this.
Definitely
not too tired yet.
We were just watching your YouTube videos about your press junkets and everything, so it's really fun to see the other side of it now.
Yeah. No, and this one is going to be pretty intense because that video was just about like going to Comic-Con. Now we're going to go all over the world.
Definitely. And I'm it's exciting because I think you should be very excited to show this movie off because we loved it. And something we love so much about you is just how transparent you are with the filmmaking process especially when it comes to problem solving. With that said, what was the biggest problem that you had to solve when making SHAZAM Fury of the Gods?
It was a few things. I mean, one was just that the size and the scope of it. There's a lot of movie to do in a relatively short time, because it's always like whenever you make a movie, it's like you always aim for more than the box you've been given, because you want to make it as big as possible. But it means that it is a lot of work and like a lot of stressful situations. And on this one, we have such a big cast, which is a lot of problems of just from staging and like blocking shots when you have like 11 characters in a shot or something like that. And in the movie, there's a scene when they're all in the house towards the end where they're basically all just lined up in a row because it's just like you just run out of idea. Like, how do we even shoot this with all these people in this little hallway thing? And so a lot of challenges like that, and yeah, visual effects. Figuring out how to shoot things, especially when we have to move fast, because we had this system, this called the N cam, where when you're on the camera, you have a little monitor where you can actually see like a CG version of the dragon, so you can frame up shots and everything. But we actually only used that for a day and then didn't use it anymore because it sort of slowed us down.
Oh
Because
wow.
then, you have an animation for the dragon, but then the actor has to sort of adjust their performance to the pre-recorded
Right.
animation of the dragon and stuff. So I was like, I didn't want to do that. Like, we need to move fast. We're just gonna have to sort of shoot it, and the dragon's there, and then they'll have to put it in and go by the actor's performance rather than the other way around.
Right.
I love that.
Besides the lovely people, what did you miss most about shooting Shazam in Toronto?
Well, it was funny because when we were shooting it in Toronto, it was so cold that we were all saying like, "Oh, for Shazam 2, we'll go to someplace warm and great." This one, we were in Atlanta in the middle of summer, and it was so damn hot. So it was kind of like it's never been perfect. It's either been too cold or too hot. But no, Toronto is such a great town, but Atlanta is too. So but it is kind of funny that it's a movie about Philadelphia, and we're shooting in either Toronto or Atlanta. But try to
Maybe
make
for the third one, you'll finally shoot in Philadelphia.
yeah, we got to do it a little bit. I mean, in the first one, we went to the rocky steps, and
Right.
you shoot plates and things like that of the stadium and things that we destroy and all that.
Speaking of the first Shazam film, was there something that you weren't able to do in the first film that you finally got to do in Fury of the Gods?
A lot of sort of technical things, like in the first one, the way, for example, the boots look in Shazam's costume.
Yeah, the suits look incredible, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, the Louise Mingenbach was our costume designer on this one. She did a great job. And I mean, for the first one, I wanted a design of the boots that look like they do in this movie. And we did build a version like that, but on the first day of shooting, they kept falling apart. So we had to like quickly do something else. But this time, we had learned stuff from the first one, so now we could build it properly and get it. Okay, yeah, that's the design I want. And just figuring out how to shoot things in a better way, more efficient way, because it's like, yeah, it was the first time ever doing a superhero movie for the first one.
Definitely.
There's some genuinely scary moments in Fury of the Gods. How did your previous work in horror kind of help you unleash those demons while you're still kind of balancing the story about family?
Yeah, I mean that's the fun part, doing some monster horror stuff. And no, we actually kind of did a little too much and had to cut back a little bit because we shot so much stuff with the monsters running amok in the city with just sort of random citizens, and it's like, well, the movie is about Shazam and his family. I think we have to come back to them a little sooner, so we cut some of that out. No, but I love that stuff. Getting to play around with monsters and also like doing the badass version of a unicorn.
Very badass.
Yeah, no, that was really fun.
Yeah, I mean the monsters looked really scary and they looked really cool, and you had all these amazing characters obviously fighting alongside. So I have to ask, which of the powers of Shazam would you like to have the most?
Well, I think stamina would be pretty good.
Especially during the junket.
Well, that too, but I mean, it takes like 3 years to make a movie like this, and it's like long days, and it's like just, yeah, you have to keep up.
That's so funny. David, we have to ask, like we said at the top, we've loved so much what you've done with this universe. Do you ever foresee yourself taking on the role of another superhero down the road? Is there another superhero within the world of DC that you would love to, take on in the next phase of storytelling?
I don't know. I mean, Shazam is pretty perfect to me. I mean, right now I'm just like I just want to make a horror movie because a little horror movie that doesn't take 3 years to do. But then we'll see. Maybe there's some horror in that. Of some could be something cool there. Maybe.
Oh yeah,
we're due for a horror superhero movie again.
I think so. I definitely
Yeah.
think so. I'm curious. When you're balancing such a large cast, like you said, I know is like one of the biggest problem solving that you had to do in this film. Were there any of the family members within Shazam that you felt like, I really want to give them their due this time around, because I think you do such a great job of balancing, but there are some great character moments for everyone. Everyone gets their chance to shine.
Absolutely.
Is that something that you wanted to like consciously make sure happens, that everyone got their moment in this film?
Yeah, and I wanted to do even more of it, but it's, there's only so much runtime
Yeah.
you have. But yeah, I do think we got a pretty good balance, and I really like what we do with Freddy, of him sort of
Mhm.
getting to learn that he has value beyond, just as a normal person. Like he's
Yeah.
not just has value as a superhero.
Definitely. David, thank you so much again for your time. Like we said, we're such big fans of yours. We cannot wait to see what you get to work on next. And we hope we get to talk to you again. So thank you so much.
And we
Thank you,
love
guys.
this movie.
We do. We
it.
love
you.
it. We
I'm
love it.
so happy to hear that. Thank you.
Welcome back from the Rock of Eternity. Shahbaz. Oh, sorry. Shahbaz! No lighting.
Oh no,
No lighting
It's
came.
it's clear skies.
Like we said, David has been someone that we've been wanting to talk to for so long. He is such a lovely person to speak to.
Yeah.
What were your highlights from that conversation?
Highlight was first that it was too short. I mean,
Always,
we had
always.
8 minutes, but
Yeah.
I wanted to go longer. Like David is such a fun guy to talk to. I feel like we could just hang out and have a great time, and he'd be the grandfather of my children or godfather of my children. Sorry,
I would hope Godfather. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
if he's my grandfather. That'd be interesting. Then he'd be my dad.
Yeah.
He would be my
Hold on a
David?
second.
Father?
Father?
No, I mean it was awesome to hear just the love that he has for the character and love that he has for filmmaking. On top of that, all the challenges that kind of come up while making a movie of this scale. Also love that he, got the chance to shoot the first Shazam movie in Toronto. So asking him about how the Toronto experience was, which is always cold, was also great.
Yeah, I think that's one of my favorite things from this discussion is that, the first Shazam film, we had such a love of it because it had this Toronto connection, and we were like, oh, there's the Gardner,
Yeah.
there's Union Station,
Yeah.
here's all these, here's like the
Yeah.
path underneath, like
Yeah.
you recognize everything. So to see that in a film, it's really cool. And I think that it's funny that he's like, yeah, like, the first film we shot in Toronto, the second film we shot in Atlanta, it takes place in Philly. So maybe one day we'll
One
shoot
day.
a movie there. Yeah. But what a lovely, lovely person to speak to. Open invitation to come back, David, anytime you have time.
Absolutely.
We know you're listening to this episode
Of
right now.
course.
So if you are, please come on back to the movie podcast. We'd love to talk to you more about all the films and your YouTube. Like we said, his YouTube channel, I think, is just one of my favorites to just go on a rabbit hole and just watch
Mhm.
everything that he has.
It's my second favorite YouTube channel,
What's number one?
the movie podcast.
That's a good answer. That was a test, and you passed that test. It was just like I was like I'm a wizard giving you the test.
Oh, did I pass?
You passed now.
Oh,
Now you can
see?
touch the staff. That's the
Oh,
the
okay.
staff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much for listening and watching to our interview with David F. Sandberg. This was a great one. This is one for the record books for us. This was a lot of fun. Thank you to David. Thank you to Warner Brothers for making it happen for us. And of course, if you like what we're doing here at the Movie Podcast, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a review. Let us know what you like so much about the show. And if you're watching this on YouTube, just drop it to the comments down there.
Drop a comment.
Drop a comment. Like we said, a like goes a long way. So please, if you like what we're doing, like what you see on social media, you can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Letterboxd at the Movie Podcast. Join our Discord. Make sure, like I said, you're following us on YouTube. We have lots of incredible reviews and interviews and episodes coming your way. March is a busy one, and you don't want to miss it. And of course, Shazam! Fury of the Gods is opening in theaters on March 17th. Don't miss it. Look out for our review very, very soon. That was this time with the Movie Podcast, and we'll see you next.